Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age, at any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easier to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
NeuroGuard. They control my breathing while I'm riding. It stops me getting concussions while I ride. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
I'm still doing stunts. In the concussions I've got, I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody, now's the time. Brown right, motion, tailback slant. Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner, all right? On one, ready? Go, 13! Coming up, go, 13! Hey!
We flew by the by district. We're already in the area round. It's time to talk a little 4A football. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett Grant Goodwin here, sideline to sideline, the 4A edition, brought to you by NeuroGuard Plus, right here on L4 Media. Speaking of 4A, I just want to jump right into it. What a hell of a game we saw Friday night. Between old blue blood Gilmer, up and coming Athens.
Yeah, boy, that was just punch for punch, blow for blow.
Yeah.
A lot of times I hate high scoring games because, where's the defense?
Yes.
Where's the defense? But this had some defense mixed in. Who's going to make the stop? One team would make a stop. The other team would they would capitalize on it. And then that game had everything.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with both sides of that. We've talked about that many times.
And what a great place to watch a game. That Henderson Lions Stadium, now that they've redone it, that was just super nice, man. Big scoreboard, the press box, even though we were on the sideline, press box was really nice.
Yeah.
It was a great place to watch a football game.
The aesthetics are beautiful. They have a little ticket walk-in. That's awesome. I love what I call 60s government font. It's what you see on all the post offices and stuff, because the 60s was the last time a lot of them were built. And that kind of font, they have that all through the stadium. It's kind of like what we said about Stephenville. It's a great stadium, but it's not gaudy. It doesn't need to be gaudy. It's there. It does what it needs to do. And
Stephenville's getting a couple of playoff games too. That was our big question.
Yeah.
Where they're located and the size of maybe the visitor stands. Well, they're getting playoff games.
And the game, man, look, wow. Gilmer, first off, Gilmer is going to be highly ranked to start next year. Geez, I didn't, we had that question all year long, and we were getting, talking to Gilmer fans, but you know how when you're a fan of a team, you either are over optimistic or you're jaded. And some of them were like, yeah, we just don't have the talent, we're down. And then others were like, well, we have the talent, we're just young. They have the talent, they're just young.
Yeah.
All the way from their offensive linemen. This might be the biggest offensive line that they've had since the 07, 08, the David Snow group, then you've got a quarterback who he's just a little bit of everything for Gilmer.
Yeah. He's just a junior, right?
Yeah, I think he's a junior. They're going to be good. But Athens, dude, big saying.
David Richardson.
Yes.
Good night.
The saying now is give them their flowers. They've definitely earned the flowers after, that game started exactly like they didn't want to. Gilmer drives right down the field, scores a touchdown. The very first play for Athens, they throw an interception, but they cause the fumble. And I'm not saying if Gilmer scores, they win the game, but it felt like from the moment they got the ball back from the fumble, Athens breathed.
Yeah.
They're kind of holding their breath there for that first drive and then the first play. And you understand that. We talked about it. How would the new upstart team react? Yeah. Just a great game. That's what the playoffs are all about.
Yeah.
No shame for the team that lost. It was a great game, and we had a blast. By the way, as always, we're going to be talking every playoff game here in the area round. We look back a little bit, but we're not looking back and doing in-depth like we do in the regular season with a review and a preview. We'll just be mentioning things on the fly because we're focusing on the area round, getting all the games picked and all that. And, of course, we will have, I don't know if Playoff Trio show up today. He's had some litigation, some saplings he claims aren't his. They're doing some maternity tests and all that. But we do, unfortunately, by law, and yes, it was voted.
There he is right here.
Yeah, but he might not be like there in mind and body.
Okay,
and then with the voting of the Epstein files, the Republicans slipped in that we also had to.
Who do you think's in that playoff tree or Coach X?
Both proudly.
Well,
Well, that's
if
what
I'm
happened.
Epstein and I'm a billionaire like that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't let Coach X on my plane, much less my island.
Oh, no. I meant Coach X was one of the ones that the billionaires were using.
Oh, yeah. If I was a billionaire, I'd totally use him. I use him and I'm 100 air.
$1.50 air.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, during that voting, they slipped in the resolution that we had to legally keep Coach X going, even though we tried our hardest to end him. So here we go. Coach X diatribe. If you don't know, Coach X is a real coach here in the state of Texas. And he likes to write in, and some of the times he's pretty funny. And I got to admit, this one's a pretty funny one. So here we go. So after round one of the playoffs, I'm sure I'm the Charlie Sheen of the picks. Winning, I got to add those up. I'll post those tomorrow.
Charlie Sheen is in a gay relationship now.
Well, he's with a man, yes.
Right.
He admitted.
So he is. So okay. I'm just mentioning that.
I don't know why I feel the need to talk about this on the Texas High School Playoffs.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no. But you realize, so Corey Feldman always had this big secret that he complained.
Yeah.
One thing about Playoff Tree, I miss seeing you. I need to see your smoky eyes when we're talking.
Smoky eyes?
Yeah.
It's probably smoky because I didn't take my contacts out.
That's what I was about to go to. I was about to say,
3 years.
Like, you kind of sometimes look like a zombie. It's a little worrying. But anyway.
That's just the alcohol.
So Corey Feldman had this big secret for years. And finally, a couple years ago, he came out and he said that on the filming of Lucas, a football movie, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Apparently, Charlie Sheen graped Corey Haim all the time. So maybe that tracks. But anyway, so yeah, Coach X, if you want to be Charlie Sheen, good on you.
Groping boys.
Hey, hang on. Hey, why does Playoff Tree have a demonic voice? I don't think it's demonic. He's a tree. Like, for real. I know tree is insulting me, but for the life of me, I can't understand what the hell you're saying. Every time you go to talk, I just start thinking I need an old priest and a young priest. Young priest, Epstein. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. I keep waiting for it to tell me that my mother does stuff in hell. So as Coach X is the voice of the people, I leave you with this. So to you, Playoff Tree, what you gonna do, brother, when Coach X the Mania runs wild on you? To all the Coach X maniacs, say your prayers, drink your milk, eat your vitamins, and that's what Coach X has to say.
Well, Coach X, I'd like to say, quit being a birch. That's basically what Humans would say, quit being a bitch.
I don't know if he'll understand you, though, apparently.
Yeah, he's a little special. That's fine.
I understand you.
I'll take him under my limb.
You're gonna mentor him.
Yes.
Leave him in the right direction.
Lead him in the right direction. He'll probably end up right under me in the Angelina forest.
You're there to grow. He's there to, cook meth. By the way, I just want to point out that in one statement, Coach X basically wants to be Charlie Sheen, wants to be a young priest, and he goes the ghost of Hulk Hogan, the very well-known racist. So I don't know if he has all the.
Man, maybe we should start distancing.
Yeah, maybe we should actually. All right, now that Coach X, of course, he will have a couple picks that he'll make on these games, but. It's time. Let's load up 4A Division 1. We're going to start in the Region 1 where we always do. Here we go, Grant. Where do you want to start?
All right, 4A Division 1, Region 1, area around Canyon.
Oh, we had a little burp there. Anyway, what were you saying?
All right, area around the 4A Division 1, Region 1. 7-4 Canyon taking on 7-4 Brownwood over at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa on Friday. I like Canyon in this one.
I like Brownwood in this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Brownwood's been playing a lot better lately.
Won 5 in a row, man. And
yeah.
And Canyon's had a weird year. Of course, their coach basically quit in the most biggest, like Jerry Maguire, FU, and moved on. But I don't know. I just think the Lions are hot right now. And I think the Lions have played a tougher all-around schedule.
Yeah, they have, but I still like Canyon. I think they're getting right.
And this is a pick 'em game.
Yeah, this is a toss-up, but I like Canyon to go on to face the winner of Canyon, West Plains, and Lampasas. West Plains 10-1, Lampasas 9-2. West Plains, their quarterback Reed Macon, he's probably the best in 4A Division 1, Region 1, probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in all a 4A Division 1. But then you got Bryson Roberts at quarterback at Lampasas. He's pretty darn good too.
Yeah, and there have been a couple times this year against really good offenses, West Plains giving up points. And saying that, I don't know if Lampasas can stop West Plains. Now, this does feel like one of those games that's going to be a lot closer than what people think, and West Plains might need to score a couple touchdowns late in the game, but I think at the end of the day they'll win by a couple scores. But I do think this is like a 45-35 type of game.
Yeah, I would have look the amount of points Dumas put up on Canyon West Plains in week 9 or 10, whatever that was. I think it was maybe week 9. I don't know, 10. Now we got 11 in the regular season. Whatever it was, caused me a little concern on the Wolves defense. So I think Lampasas can move the ball, but I don't think they can keep up with that West Plains offense. I'm like you, think it's a high-scoring game, but it'll be Canyon West Plains, and I think Canyon in the third round. You think it's West Plains and Brownwood.
Yeah, all right. Now let's move on to Burnett, 4-7 versus Canyon Randall, 9-2. This game, 3 p.m. Friday at Iowa Park's Hawks Stadium. A very underrated stadium, by the way. I love
that stadium. I've seen a couple of games there, and it's a great place. I like Canyon Randall in this one, but I think it could be close.
Yeah,
as well.
I was gonna say I like Canyon Randall, but don't look at Burnett's record and think 4-7. This is a weak team. This is a team that's played a really tough schedule, and they've been competitive in a lot of those games. I think at the end of the day, though, Canyon Randall's defense is a little too much.
Yeah, they'll take on the winner of 11-0 Stephenville versus 8-3 Dumas in Vernon on Friday. Look, man, Stephenville, we know about their quarterback Jordan and what they're doing offensively, but I think that defense, the Stephenville Yellow Jacket defense, gives up under 8 points a game on average.
That's what's going to win them state if they win. I mean, their offense is great, but they're going to get in a game coming up against good defenses, and it's going to be their defense that holds it. Dumas, really solid, underrated season. You just got the bad luck that you get Stephenville in the second round.
Yeah, so I think it's Stephenville and Canyon Randall in the second round. You think Canyon Randall as well, but you think Burnett will keep it.
Yeah, I think Burnett will keep it close.
Round, I'm sorry.
And I still have Stephenville as
the third round is regional round. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I always forget. Oh, it's right up there. Well, yeah, regions. Well, now they just call it region semis. The names change, so it's area, region semis, region finals, and state semifinals. I still think, I love what West Plains has done, and I have said all year I thought they were the favorite, but just the more I watch Steveville,
Oh, I know.
I mean, I begin to think Steveville's above everybody in 4A Division One. But hey, we still got a lot of football to play. All right, let's jump down to Region 2, and we got
Coach X have any picks on those?
No, his first pick isn't till coming up here in this one.
Okay.
We have a region that outside of one game has a hell of a schedule this week. Start with Springtown 11-0 versus Panther Creek 9-2, 7 p.m. Friday. North Richland Hills, Birdville, Fine Arts Athletic Complex. This is a battle of two teams that are, explosive. I think this one comes down to which defense can make enough stops.
Right.
And
both teams have great quarterbacks. Springtown's Cane Hill, a dual threat quarterback in all sense of the words, right? Yep. 2,300 yards passing, like 50 or 40 yards rushing.
And understand this, if they weren't in a district with the Fort Worth teams, he probably would already have 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards rushing. They have throttled him back.
They've yanked him in the third quarter many a times. And then Frisco Panther Creek has Graylin Fry at quarterback, but they have one of the most special receivers in all of Class 4A and Jalen Lott. It's kind of come down to the defenses because we know the offenses are going to move the football. Who has the better defense? I think right now with the schedule that Panther Creek has played and their defenses faced some really good offenses, I like Panther Creek, but I think this would go either way.
It's funny, man. Their comparison games, there's not many, but there is a couple, and they're very early in the year. And again, you can't take these, but it's just kind of fun to calibrate. Panther Creek beat Lake Worth 63-0. Springtown beat Lake Worth 55-0. Panther Creek beat Kennedale 56-17. Springtown beat Kennedale 55-0. Those are back-to-back weeks, oddly enough.
Right.
No comparison. You can't really do that.
Yeah.
I am concerned that until the playoff game, until Decatur, and this is nothing Springtown has nothing they can do to control this, but man, they went through 5 games where they played nobody. Now, you can look at that like, hey, they got the rest of their guys. They're perfectly fine. They did play a tough couple games at the beginning of the year. I'm going to still go Springtown. I feel like Cane Hill is just that guy that he's going to put the team on his shoulder when he needs to. And for some reason,
he's that guy for sure. But I look back at Panther Creek having a shot against Salina this year.
And
they were in that game with many chances to win.
Yes, but and I was thinking about that one today, and I went and looked up the stats and stuff, and it's one of those things is it was such a good bad. They created a ton of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of those turnovers, they couldn't stop Salina. Salina had 450 yards of total offense. So you then have to go, and this is one of those things.
That's the game within the game.
And then you have to go, okay, how many of the turnovers were forced? How many of them were mistakes? You never know. I have been going Springtown all year, so I have no reason to stop that now.
I've got no beef with that. I'm going Panther Creek, though. I'm pretty comfortable in my pick here. I think it will be close. I think this would be a toss-up game.
Oh, yeah. I think, again, 3 of the 4 in this region are toss-up games, in my opinion.
If I wasn't going to the Alvarado Sulphur Springs game, this is where I'd be.
All right.
So I like Panther Creek. You like Springtown. They'll take on either of those. They'll take on the winner of the game I just mentioned, 10-0 Alvarado and 10-1 Sulphur Springs. And again, my pick's going to come down to strength of schedule almost, really, right? Alvarado with DeMarcus Bell, probably one of the best athletes in 4A Division I. Sulphur Springs, athletic across the board. I don't know if Deuce Timmons is playing. I'm assuming he's out at quarterback for Sulphur Springs. If Sulphur Springs had Deuce Timmons at quarterback, that changes things so much offensively for Sulphur Springs. But remember, they beat Panther Creek without him, and the backup has been pretty darn good. Very solid. I don't know what to pick here. I'm almost stumped. Sorry, playoff tree. I'm stumped. But
well played,
I'm going.
sir.
I'm going Sulphur Springs in a close one.
I'm going Sulphur Springs. I'm going Sulphur Springs in a close one as well, mainly because.
So maybe I should go to Springtown Panther Creek since we're split.
I feel like when
I
you
got better Mexican food options if I go to Prosper.
Yeah,
I can go to Tupi's.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Yep,
we were supposed to get that a couple weeks ago. And we ended up not doing it, but we're going to get it soon. But I just, I look at what Sulphur Springs done this year. Literally, their one loss is the most what if, because Deuce Timmons, that's the game he got hurt. The very first play, went on a draw play, he goes 10 yards, and then he's hurt. And then, but since then, they've won the offensive shootout against Paris 38-35. They've won the defensive, and the fact that they held Panther Creek to 13 points, to me, is massively impressive. Now you can say there's some people, well, maybe the draw in third place, but I mean, really, what's the difference if you're Sulphur Springs and Panther Creek of playing Alvarado or Springtown? I don't think Panther Creek.
There's nothing.
I don't think Panther Creek went third round just so they purposely they could play Salino one round.
I wouldn't want to play either of those.
Yeah, and by the way, Alvarado. You lose that quarterback, and everybody thought, okay, is Alvarado going to go back to being, struggling? No, they haven't. Casey Walraven has built a program where Alvarado is back to where they were 10 years ago. And I like Sulphur Springs, though, on a defensive shield.
I do, too. I like Sulphur Springs. I think they'll play Panther Creek in the second round. You think they'll play Springtown. But let's remember, last year, this same game, same round, I believe. Alvarado won by 3.
Yep. All right. Are y'all going to? Oh, by the way, it's Coach X. Are y'all going to the game this year? I saw there were 3 people on the road to watch the games this last playoff week. That's cool. I didn't want to go on the road trip. I mean, Coach X is quite fun on the road trip, but you'd never know the pleasure of my company. Terry, I was even going to give you a nickname, but now I'm not. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it was. Okay, fine. It was T-Bone. I won't be ignored, Dan. When you come home, check your bunny's cage. Sulphur Springs wins. I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, that, T-Bone actually was my nickname in junior high in Woodville.
A tree had the nickname T-Bone?
Oh, yeah, T-Bone.
For what?
I was in my logging truck and I pulled out.
Wait.
59 and T-Bone the guy.
Wait.
What I really want to mention is Coach X, the Birch, had mentioned a third guy on our trip. That was Kevin McPherson.
Yeah.
That went.
Yeah, Kevin, great guy. Yeah.
Cool guy. He took me on some family business with him to his hometown in New Boston. And he had to drop me off, though, while he was attending the business. So I got hammered at the Rowdy Moose in New Hope, Arkansas, right down the road.
Okay.
He picked me up in his logging truck, a logging truck. It wasn't even his. And you know how hard it is to get a dude back in a logging truck from New Hope, Arkansas to New Boston? Not easy.
So
not easy at all.
Okay, I've got to step in here. I'm confused. So you were nicknamed T-Bone in junior high
because I
drove.
I had a hardship license.
But why are you, as a tree, driving a logging truck? You kill your own?
Well, it's making ends meet.
Okay.
You ever heard of cannibals?
Okay, Benedict playoff tree. Wow. No wonder you're all for the rebel cause.
Wait. You call me a traitor or Benedict Cumberbatch?
Hey, he's a good actor.
Well, some say.
Anyway, Coach X and Playoff Tree, thank you so much for joining us. I promise this is really awesome. Okay, here's the one that's a punt. Salina 11-0, Fort Worth Eastern Hills 6-5. Friday, Bedford's Penning State. By the way,
I love the location.
Oh yeah, and Eastern Hills is a solid program. They're not one of those.
The ones with the 225 pound
running backs. Yes,
yeah. I'm telling you, Salina's defense is going to have to be on point because Eastern Hills has 2 running backs that can gash you up the middle because they're so big and physical.
Yeah, they're rolling with big boys up front.
I mean, they're going to have to run that at 11-1. Or 10-1, not 11-1. 10-1.
That 10-1 and maybe throw 3 guys in the back after that as well. They will win. But yeah, don't be surprised if Eastern Hills gets a touchdown early with that.
They'll put up some points.
They'll put up some points, but Salina's just way better. And every, came out today that Bill Elliott will not be charged and all that brouhaha. So maybe he'll be back on the sideline. I don't know if he'll be back this week, but maybe he'll be back on the sidelines.
Probably not a good look if he is. They
he was exonerated. So
well, I know.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying. Anyway,
a lot of it is optics at this point. It's political and it's optics,
and that's as we always say.
So the winner of this one, we both think Salina will play the winner of Paris 7-4 and Decatur 7-3. Thursday at Munson Stadium in Denison.
This is an underrated great game.
This game, go to Huck's, get some catfish first, the best catfish you have in the state of Texas, and then go to the game.
And expect
Paris wins this ball game because they are so athletic offensively.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got Decatur winning by 2 touchdowns.
I've got Paris winning.
First off, if you're going to this game, you're going to be there a long time because these two teams are going to basketball score each other.
Yeah, they will.
The first one to 60 might win. I just think Decatur's offense is just too good.
I think
this
Paris
is a great game.
This one just for athletes. I think it's Paris and Salina inter-district rematch.
And there's there's a really good chance it's nothing but that district in the next round.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they were the toughest district.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go to Region 3?
Region 3, Kilgore 10-1 versus Stafford 6-5. Friday at Willis's Yates Stadium, 7 p.m. Stafford's always going to have athletes. They're going to look really good, but Kilgore's going to look better because their athletes play football and are disciplined and run their schemes. And the Bulldogs, I'm not going to say name their score, but they're not. In the third quarter, they're going to be pulling out the starters.
I think so, too. Look, Stafford's got a really good quarterback, Nate Ray. But this Kilgore defense only allows about 11 points a game. I think they will absolutely shut down Stafford's offense and Nate Ray. I think Kilgore almost names their score. I think it'll be at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, easy.
All right, so we both think Kilgore will win and take on the winner at 10-1 Bridge City with the big win over Chapel Hill last week. Versus 8-3 Navasota, an upstart Navasota team again. Man, look out! They're playing over in Baytown on Friday at 7:00. I'm telling you, this is a tough one to pick. Navasota is really good. Bridge City, really darn good.
Yeah, Bridge City on the year 10-1. Their only loss was to LCM 24-16,
who got boat raced last week.
Yes, but Navasota on the year. They're salty, but when they've played the good teams, they've gotten boat raced. Like Crawford beat them a couple weeks ago, 51-14. Sealy beat them 33-18, and then Stafford beat them, and that was an upset. And I know Stafford made the playoffs, but I mean, when you look at who Stafford played. Now, in saying that, Stafford played a hell of a non-district. Iowa Colony, Belleville, Port Lavaca, Calhoun, Hampshire, Fannett. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were losing to dogs, but I think Bridge City wins this by 10 points.
I think Bridge City wins by 7-10.
Yeah,
or 14 even.
That Ashton Summerall is a fun running back to watch. This defense, dude, holding Chapel Hill to 21 points. On the year, even in their loss, that's the most points they've given up all year, and that was 24, folks. It's been 14, 13, 14, 23, 17, 6, 13, 24 in the loss, 18, 21, and 21. This Bridge City Cardinal team is physical, and they are mean on the defensive side.
That's what will make a great third round after Thanksgiving game, Kilgore and Bridge City.
That could be in Houston.
Oh, and if it broke right, because we'll either be probably in College Station or Austin those next week. That could be, if it played right, we could do both.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Houston Yates, undefeated, man.
Hey, good call on them. You called it last week. You said they would win.
Yeah, 11-0, taking on a 7-4 Pine Tree team over in Crockett, a place we are very, very familiar with. Pine Tree 7-4. Who do you like in this one?
I like Yates. Look, Pine Tree's had a really good season. Of course, they pulled off the upset of Chapel Hill. And that's what put them in the third place. They lost to Lindale in a very competitive game, 17-10. Lost to Kilgore 35-7, but I mean, that's Kilgore. I like what Pine Tree's done. Jason Bachman has done a great job there. Very solid season win. So last year they were 10-2, and everybody thought they were going to take a huge step back this year. They only returned like 5 starters. They did took a little bit of a step back, but they didn't take a big one. I just think this is a legitimate Yates team. I think this is a program that returned 17 starters last year, have a really underrated quarterback in Christopher Brown, very underrated defense on the year. Now, when we can talk about who they've played, and that's fine, but like you always like to say, at some point when you're holding everybody to scoreless or under 14 points, no matter who you're playing, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah. I like Yates too, but I do think it's close.
Oh, I do too. I think this is a one possession game easily.
All right. They will take on the winner of Fort Bend Crawford 10-1 versus 10-1 Lindale at Dragon Stadium in Nacogdoches on Friday. This is a tough one to gauge too. Fort Bend Crawford has a really good quarterback in Braylon Fisher, 2,640 yards passing. Justin Butler and Alvin Mosley, 2 really good receivers, but I like the physicality of Lindale on the defensive side of the ball, especially. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I will. This is a toss-up. I'm going Lindale in a very close one.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth. Both of these teams have played a pretty darn solid schedule.
Crawford only lost to Belleville?
Belleville by 20, 30 to 36
Belleville
to 16.
got upset last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's quite weird. Lindale's
So
only
is
lost.
China Spring better than Fort Bend Crawford? Because I don't think China Spring is better than Lindale.
No, I think Belleville's issue is their secondary was their weakness, and China Spring can score. That's the one thing China Spring's been able to do all year. They just they've struggled to stop people.
Lindale can do a little bit of both.
Yeah, and so the both teams' losses were to good teams by 20 points. I just think at the end of the day, man, Lindale has been slept on all year, and you know everybody sleeps
on them.
Every year, and I don't think they're necessarily.
I've been called out for that.
Yes, you have. I don't think they're necessarily 2020 good when they made it to the state championship game, but I do think that they're pretty darn close. I like them to win.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was you went to that playoff game where you texted me and said, I don't want to be here anymore when them in Needville were scoring a point a minute against each other.
Yeah, that was in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, quarterfinals. Yeah. All right, let's go to Region 4. We got Austin LBJ 9-2 versus Bay City 8-3. Saturday at Brenham's Cub Stadium. This is another salty, underrated matchup. But Bay City, man, every time.
It's hard to trust them because right when you pick them, then they lay a turd.
Yeah, they and to be fair,
of turds, I think Coach X has a pick on.
Yeah, he does. Okay. I'm about to go to him, but I mean, yes, they lay a turd, but their turds are against teams that are all still in the playoffs.
Right? Yeah.
Sealy and two of those turds were competitive. They lost by 3 to Lavernia, and they lost by 1 to Port Lavaca Calhoun 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, who is still in the next game under. I like LBJ and their athleticism, though.
I like
and
LBJ.
Their speed.
I like LBJ too, but Bay City is one of the few teams in this region that can almost match them athletically. I do think this is going to be a close
game. Davenport can match them
athletically.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's see what Coach X has to say. I hate the way he does this. The LBJs made it to round 2. Who does not like a round 2 of BJs? The Jags defense is good. In fact, they swallow up the competitions.
I see what he's doing there.
The Black Cats
I miss your mom, man.
My mom?
No, his mom.
My mom's birthday's today. That's weird you say that.
Happy birthday, Beverly.
The Black.
But I wasn't
why are you calling her
you.
Beverly? Why are you on the first name with my mom too?
I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is what was the movie with
The Graduate?
Yeah, The Graduate.
Dude, we have been around each other so long. All you had to say was, what was that movie? And I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Mrs. Robinson.
How you do, Mrs. Robinson? Anyway, the Black Cats are...
I came in to cash a check at the credit union, and we left lovers. God, I hope your mom doesn't listen.
I promise she doesn't. The Black Cat...
Ray does, though.
Jefferson's out. He's pissed.
Okay, because Ray, Terry's dad, is about the coolest dude in the world. His Facebook posts are really weird, but I love
they're so out of context, which makes it... Like, I don't know.
Takes a picture of water. It could be a puddle or it could be a pond, but he says, we're at the Atlantic. I'm like, it looks like a muddy puddle.
37 effing degrees out here. Anyway, the Black Cats are a tough nut to crack, though. But the LBJs always seem to come through, or so are those. Let's go Jags. Yeah, again, I think LBJ wins. I do think it's going to be a little bit closer than what people think. Yeah. All right, San Antonio Davenport 11-0 versus Port Lavakia Calhoun 7-4.
Either of those will be a great. Whoever wins this one will be a great matchup against LBJ.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I know Davenport's been crowned as the region favorite, but let's not forget in this same game last year, Port Lavakia Calhoun beat them 42-28.
Calhoun likes to run the ball. They average about 201 yards a game rushing, but Davenport with Tristan Torres at quarterback, Barrett Fallon at running back. They're just, and their defense is really good. I like Davenport in this one. We finally got to see Davenport a few weeks ago. Really good on special teams. I like Davenport in this one.
Yeah, I don't think Lavaca gets the back-to-back wins over them. I think Davenport wins, but I do think it's a close game. Just because, like you say, the way Calhoun plays just makes it a close game.
Yeah.
Lavernia 10-1 versus Somerset 9-2 Friday, 7 p.m. at San Antonio's Ferris Stadium. Somerset, their only two losses.
I play at Ferris.
Huh?
I like Heroes.
Oh yeah, I do too.
But not Ferris is okay.
I think they play. They played last? No, they Somerset lost to Cal Allen last year.
Okay. I like Lavernia in this one.
I do too. I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it could be, but I think it's still 14 points.
Yeah, I totally agree. About 14 points. All right, Corpus Christi Cal Allen 9-2 versus Canyon Lake 8-3 Friday at Von Orney's Southwest Legacy Stadium, 7 p.m. start. Now at the beginning of the year,
I like Cal Allen.
I did too. At the beginning of the year, I'd have said Lake.
When I saw Canyon Lake against Davenport, I was a little bit underwhelmed in Canyon Lake.
Yeah, we called them a dark horse. I mean, they're in the second round, so I mean they've done at least what we thought they would.
If they win one more, if they beat Cal Allen, then they achieve the dark horse status that we picked. But I don't think they're dark horse unless they win this one. We are not right unless they beat the Wildcats.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think they'll beat the Wildcats.
No, I don't either. All right, that's 4A Division 1 in the books. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to do it all again for 4A Division 2 right here on Sideline to Sideline, the Class 4A Area Round Edition on L4 Radio.
Hey, Coach, are you ready to elevate your locker room experience? Well, at H&H Locker Solutions, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality lockers at the lowest cost in the Southeast. As a coach-owned business based in Alabama, we understand the needs of the coaches and the players alike. Our mission is to improve your locker room and streamline your process, and we're coming to Texas. Did you know we offer a free locker program? That's right. We ship all across the USA, ensuring you get the best solutions tailored just for you and your program. Want to learn more? Drop a comment or give Coach Harris, a.k.a. Ty, a call at 256-458-4427, and let's take your locker room to the next level.
Coach Surratt came in 2007, and really what's remarkable about him is how quickly he turned the program around.
The biggest challenge here was just to change the mindset. Obviously, we want a winning culture, but the first thing you got to instill is, toughness. It don't matter if it's volleyball, football, baseball.
He's put Carthage on the map to a great extent.
Lights are bright on Friday night, fall in small Texas
All right,
town.
Terry Bennett Grant Goodwin back here, Sideline to Sideline, the 4A edition, right here on L4 Media. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/L4 Media Company. Also, check out.
My mom just texted me and told me to sit up straight. I guess I'm slouching. How does she know?
The show's
are we live?
No, the show's not live.
The hell? She hacked my phone again.
Now, I want to remind you, Grant, I said, hey, before we
Look
go
at that
in.
house. Whose is that?
Well, as I was about to say, before we started this segment, I said, hey, I got to come in with an ad read. You said, okay. And then you immediately just torpedo it with talk about your mother. You have a weird mother fixation lately. Your mother,
I'm not.
my mother, Coach X. Well, everybody's
I love my mother.
Everybody's been Coach X's mother. She's like Amtrak. She's rarely on time, but she gets laid on the tracks. Anyway, check out our new sponsor, Luxury Restoration Roofing. This isn't just, as you can tell, this just ain't for everybody's roof. These are for the fancy roofs.
Do y'all do like 1,200 square feet houses?
I got a shed. Could y'all come do my shed? But no,
I do have 2 sheds that need roofs.
Yeah, they really do, actually.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the last time we were over at your house.
Which all the holiday tubs are in.
Yes.
And it causes me a lot of work during Thanksgiving, fall, and Christmas. I wouldn't mind if I could pay somebody, and hopefully the wife's not listening, which I doubt she is, to come burn those down. Do you know any arsonists? Professional arsonists wouldn't be tied back to a payment?
Reggie, I just want to remind you, I told you that your ad reads could sometimes go off the rails. That's how they've done here. By the way,
Reggie's got to know somebody.
By the way, what do you think? Like all roofers know people that do this kind of thing?
I mean,
by the way,
you build it, you know how to tear it down too, or burn it down.
Luxury Restoration and Roofing is actually the sponsor of Coach X and Playoff Tree. You can give them a call, 817-228-8611. You can find them online at luxuryrestorationandroofing.com. Email them luxuryroofing@gmail.com. If the name Hill sounds familiar, that's Kane Hill, quarterback of Springtown.
Really?
Yes, it is. So thank you, Reggie, for being a sponsor going forward.
So that means they can get the roof done fast because Kane Hill's pretty fast.
I don't know.
And it's in genetics, right? They get, I don't know. Okay.
You know, I remember a time about 30 minutes ago, you're like, you know what, man, let's just get in here and let's just talk football tonight. We're just going to talk football and nothing else. And you immediately went off the
give props to our advertisers.
I don't think what we just did is giving props to an advertiser.
Roof houses and knows a guy that can burn stuff down. No, I know Reggie Hill probably doesn't have anybody that can burn something down.
But if
anybody's listening,
if you do,
just what's our email address?
Grant and Terry at S2Ssport.com. Please do not include us in any.
You know, just put a code word like burn a shed down in the subject line. I'll know what you're talking about, and we can discuss payment after that.
Oh, you're going to actually pay? Or are you just saying that to get them to do it?
Well, burn it down, and then I'll pay you.
Why don't you do like Throw Mama from the Train? Offer to burn something of theirs down, and then that way y'all can't believe.
Coach X's mama looks like, I bet.
Wow. Wait, now don't be talking about me that way. Any questions, thoughts, or to tell Grant he's wrong and illegal, email us, Grant and Terry at S2Ssport.com. Again, no, seriously, we do thank Luxury Restoration and Roofing for being sponsor of the Playoff Tree and of Coach X going forward through the playoffs. All right, let's now get down to it. Let's hit 4A Division 2 out in Region 1. We've got a honey of a matchup. This is a great region matchup. Most of these games, there's one that probably won't be, but on paper at least it looks good. Greenwood 11-0 versus Eagle Mountain 8-3, 7 p.m. Friday at Clyde's Bulldog Stadium. What say you, Grant Goodwin?
Well, I'll go with saying like Greenwood, the Rangers are the favorite in this game, right? I mean, they're just kind of wiping the field with everybody. They're 11-0, undefeated. Eagle Mountain's 8-3. One of their losses was to Brock. It wasn't real close, right? But Benbrook's a pretty good team. They beat them 28-12. Benbrook still has a pretty decent offensive line, right?
Yes.
And a very big offensive line. So just on paper, you would think Greenwood will win this game going away. I still think Greenwood wins this ball game, but I think Eagle Mountain can keep it close.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think this is a close game. And also, I do want to point out, Eagle Mountain and Benbrook played earlier in the year, too. So, and that game was 46-15.
Mm-hmm.
So, Benbrook obviously made some adjustments defensively, but they still couldn't be a drop. Look, Eagle Mountain has 3 losses, 1 point to Grandview. The Brock game got away from them late. and then they lose by 2 to Graham. I think this is a way closer game than what people are thinking.
I still think Greenwood wins by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think a touchdown, but I think it's one of those. It's into the fourth quarter. It's a one possession
think Greenwood
game.
is special this year, though.
I think they're Region 1 special. I agree with you.
I really think that Greenwood has a really good opportunity to go to the region finals and let the chips fall against a Brock, an Estacado, somebody like that.
All right, Lubbock Liberty 10-1 versus Graham 8-3. 6 p.m. Friday at the venerable Abilene's Shotwell Stadium, where for 20 years the water leaked from the heater and it burned, but they fixed all that.
It dripped on us for
the
2 games, right?
15 years ago.
But they had good food.
They had great food, but I just always laughed about that because I was telling y'all about that. Like, hey, man, when we were here for A&M Commerce, great game. They fed AC used to feed Red Lobster. So
really?
You're sitting in the middle of a game and your team's 1-9 and it sucks and it's 20 degrees outside and all of a sudden you get a little sirloin fillet with a little half of a lobster tail. Mm-hmm. It makes the day better. But the whole time, this was
Red Lobster had the all-you-can-eat shrimp thing. So, like, it would have been great if Shotwell would have set up where you could have that and just text them, bring more.
Just
bring more.
Bring more.
Sir, we've already made 12 trips. And it's only the third quarter. Bring more.
Well, here's the weird thing, guys. There's only one guy eating this. But no, the crazy thing that I told when we went there was like 2009. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, man, back in 2002, we were here. This heater leaked this hot water on you.
Terrible.
It hurts. Like you don't think it will, but it hurts. And we get in the same damn booth 7 years later, and it's the exact same thing. And I remember all of us were just dancing the whole game.
So what I remember it was Matt Stepp was sitting right next to us, helping us with the game.
Kevin was doing stats behind us.
And it was bouncing off his shoulder, hitting me. It would hit my face, and some of the little spray would hit you.
Yes, and
Matt got it worse. Yes. I got it second worst, and you got it third worst.
Like Coach X and a bukkake. So anyway,
whoa.
The crazy thing is we had to take that for the team, like Coach X and the bukkake, because if we didn't, it would hit our electric equipment. Remember?
Right.
It was hitting the board. Anyway. Let's talk about this game. I think this game's close. I don't know if I trust Liberty yet.
I don't either, but I'm picking them to win.
I am too.
I think Liberty will take on Greenwood in the second round. I think just like Greenwood and Eagle Mountain, I think Lubbock Liberty and Graham is a close game within 7 to 14 points.
Oh yeah, I totally do. And I'll admit, I have not got a feel.
I mean, Graham's been here before. Lubbock Liberty is a new program. They don't know what they don't know, though.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the best thing.
Exactly. So I'm taking Lubbock Liberty in a close one.
All right, let me see. Where does he have it? Okay, it's coming up. All right, third game in Region 1, Division 2, Brock 11-0 versus Lubbock Estacado 8-3. 7 p.m. Friday at San Angelo Stadium. That's a drive for Brock, man.
Yeah.
Look, Estacado is always going to.
It's a heck of a drive for Estacado, too.
Yeah, I wonder if they just couldn't find a place.
For Estacado.
Yeah, it really is, actually. You're right. I wonder if they just couldn't find anywhere else. And that's it. Brock at Lubbock. That's just a weird trying to find something in the middle. Look, Estacado is always going to be Estacado.
Playing Snyder or something.
Yeah, really.
Well, Snyder's taken, though. So
Estacado always looks good. You're going to look at them when you warm up. And you go, man, I don't know how anybody's going to beat them. And then they're going to get beat by Brock, and they'll probably get beat 49-14 or something like that.
Well, here's the thing. So Estacado has a really good running back receiver, one of the most dynamic athletes in 4A Division II in Cedric Ross.
How many Rosses have played at Estacado now? There's no way this is because there's a Derek Ross.
Answer that, but I know Cedric Ross is playing.
Well, now. I know there was a Derek Ross a few years ago that was really, really good. So they started that lineage of having a Ross at Estacado. I love it when you get that.
I think the Brock defense will struggle a little bit containing Cedric Ross. But the thing is, Estacado's defense, they're allowing about 31 points a game. And then when you got Holt Frazier at quarterback and Colt Matlock at receiver, Brock's offense is very dynamic. They've been, they're always thought of as a defensive team, right? Mm-hmm. And I think statewide, people probably still think about that. Their offense is really the star of the show right now. For Brock, and Brock can move the ball on just about anybody in 4A Division II.
No, and saying that their defense is still damn good.
But they're darn good.
And Frazier and Colt Matlock. And we haven't even talked. I say this every week we talk to them. Colt Matlock should be up for Player of the Year offensively, and they moved him to safety this year. And Coach Billy Mathis was very open on the Brock show that, they didn't know if that was going to work. They didn't know what, and he is just taken to it. You get a lot of guys when they play wide receiver and then they play safety, maybe on the safety side, the defensive side, they kind of take some snaps off. They're not as physical. Now, Colt has taken to it, runs downhill when he sees a running back.
That might be that's an FBS type guy right there, Colt Matlock, right?
Yeah, he's 6'1". You'd like it if he could maybe get to 6'2" in today's world, but yeah, he's a guy that's got to play somewhere. Yeah, he's got to play somewhere.
Somebody like Tech would love him.
All right, Coach X says, so I finally get to talk about Brock. And yet I have not much to say. So to you, demonic playoff tree, Coach X says that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So cry you 2 tears in a bucket. If you're down with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it. Once I win that pick'em contest, you will never, ever be the same again. And that's the bottom line, because Coach X says so. Did I get enough WWF references in there? Yes, you did. Good job. Oh, nope. Here you go. Have a nice day. Bang, bang, and rest in peace. Brock wins. I don't think he realizes, though, buddy, Coach X is playoff tree's not making picks.
No, I'm not. I'm going to make one with La Vega because I got some bad history there, right? But we'll say, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going to take Silsby over La Vega, not because I think Silsby's better, but I was walking down the street in the La Vega area in, what is that,
Mead?
Bell Mead, yes, it was. And somebody cold stole my shoes right off my roots.
So wait.
They were Jordans.
So wait. So I'm learning tonight that you drove a logging truck.
Well, no, I ride in a logging truck.
Well, no, you T-boned. Remember, that's your nickname because you T-boned somebody while driving a logging truck.
At first, I was alert. I had my learner's permit.
Still don't know why a tree would be driving a logging truck, but now you also.
Why do you ask so many questions?
Well, were you wearing? Well, first off, you wear shoes, and
now I hate you and Coach X.
Why were you in Waco Bellmead?
I went to the Lone Star Tavern Thursday. I mean, trees like steaks. But hey, look. Coach X, you tell me to suck it. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to make amends. I want to hang out with you. I want to go to a playoff game with you. If you come pick me up, I know the Angelina Forest is a little bit far, but if you'd like to go see Woodville or somebody, even Hardin, come pick me up. I'll buy you a beer. I mean, let's go.
All right. Thank you, playoff tree. All right.
That guy's weird.
I'm
just joking.
I don't know why.
What were we even talking about?
Brock in Love Against the God.
Oh, okay.
All right, Glen Rose 6-5 versus Seminole 8-3. Friday 7 p.m. Sweetwater's Mustang Bowl. I know Glen Rose has a 6-5 record, but
they're very young.
Well, and also when you peel back who they lost to,
I know.
I think Glen Rose wins this by a touchdown.
You think Glen Rose does?
Oh yeah, I think.
I think Seminole wins because Dominic Higgins, the quarterback.
Oh, he is special.
Yeah, almost 3,000 yards passing, and then Logan McCormick. I think Seminole eats this one out because of their offense.
And it will be. It will be high scoring because that has been Glen Rose's issue on our defense.
I just don't think right now Glen Rose is quite there with their youth.
I don't. You're not necessarily wrong in that. And
if they win, I'd be delighted to see them against Brock in the 3rd round because Glen Rose next year, the next 2 years, is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, that Luke Mills is a sophomore, the quarterback. Cliff Watkins has just done, he picked up and this program is just so consistent.
Yeah.
They're that poster child we always say they're going to rebuild, but their rebuilds are 7 and 6s.
Right.
Where just like this year, they'll start out 0-5 because they lose to Grandview, Gatesville. Nobody's talking about Gatesville. Brownwood, Robinson, and Alvarado. That Robinson game by 1 point. That Alvarado game 55-50. They scored 50 on an Alvarado team that's defense is really, really good.
Yes,
that's why.
But I think that was an anomaly. You go back and look at their
for Glenrose.
Yeah,
they scored
did.
40, 34, 50. 56, 56, 70, 53.
I know, but on teams outside of Alvarado.
I mean, they scored 40 on Robinson. Robinson's a really good team this year.
Offensively, but I don't know. Maybe Glenrose does win this game, but I think Seminole takes it in a close one.
I think it's going to be
high scoring.
Either way, I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going next?
All right, let's go to Region 2 area round. 10-0 Crum taking on 9-2 Athens over at Hanby Stadium in Mesquite on Friday. Great place to watch a game. Not a lot of playoff games lately for Hanby, but I love this venue.
As you love to say this year, you've coined it. This is a game that looks great on paper, but I think Athens might even boat race Crum.
Oh, yeah, man. Athens with their quarterback, David Richardson, their receiver, Emmanuel Moore. And let me tell you, Richardson to Moore on that skinny post was unstoppable.
Jeez, dude.
Gilmer had it defended, but they just could not stop it. And Crum comes in with their running back, Will Howard, who's averaging about 190 yards a game rushing. But I think Athens will give up some yards. They'll give up some points, but there's no way that Crum can keep up with Athens offensively. I think Athens wins this game big time, and they'll take on the winner of Sunnyvale and Van.
This is an interesting game as you look at, Van. Well, both of them last week having to survive. I was really shocked at Sunnyvale having to escape against Van Alstyne 49-41.
Yeah, me too.
Now, the center one makes a little bit more sense. Center's still got a really good offense. Van, is Van. They're always going to be in the playoffs or around it. But this is one of their lesser years. Yet here they are poised to possibly beat Sunnyvale, who beat them earlier in the year 42-28. I'm going to call the upset. I think Van Vandals win it.
I was about to, but now that you're calling the upset, I'm going to go.
I'm
going Sunnyvale. I think that quarterback is so special.
Dude, I feel like I'm not knocking Sunnyvale. One, I just think, hey, as we always like to say, it's really hard to beat a good team twice in the year. Even though when
that was a pretty decent margin by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
42-28. And it was a one-possession game for most of that second half.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking Sunnyvale, and that offense, Van will have to play their defense. Van's defense is going to have to bring their A game if they're going to upset Sunnyvale.
Or just outlast them in the shootout. You're 100% right.
So I'll take Sunnyvale to take on Athens. You have Van taking on Athens in the third round.
Pleasant Grove 10-1 versus Canton 10-1. Once again, Pleasant Grove gets it. They must be just doing great at the flips as they get Canton to go to Pleasant Grove. Look, another looks good on paper. Canton, super, super young. If they stay within a puncher's chance of this, just watch out for next year because it might be Canton and Gilmer ruling the region.
No matter what happens, Canton's going to be very special for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and I just think
I think Pleasant Grove's way too much for them now, and that's going to set up. Pleasant Grove wins this game. You think Pleasant Grove's win this game, and that sets up a nice third round matchup. Pleasant Grove and Carthage. Oh my gosh. Okay, a little bit maybe, but still.
I was actually kidding because when they play, just like a couple years ago, you had everything, the controversy, what a playoff game should be, just whenever you think about it. And it would be that way again, because Carthage will beat the
Look, Sanger comes in with an 8-3 record. By the way, this is over at City Bank Stadium in Forney on Friday. But Sanger comes in with a really good running back, Reginald Jones, 2,240 yards rushing so far. So they've got that going for them. But this Carthage defense, they'll be able to just control the line of scrimmage, and Reginald Jones will struggle to get to 80 yards. And I don't know if this Sanger defense can handle KJ Edwards.
Look, the region might be in trouble because you always think there's always a game, even when Carthage rolls, that they kind of have a little stumble, and that might have happened in the first half against Pittsburgh.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, just
everybody else take note.
Yeah, everybody else take note. All right, let's go to Region 3. We got West Orange Stark 8-3 versus Robinson 9-2. Friday at Springs Planet Fort, another great stadium. Springs Planet Fort Stadium.
We saw one there a couple
Last
years ago.
year?
Belleville and Silsby.
Oh yeah,
was it a couple
Belleville
years
just
ago?
came out and just went crazy on them. Look, I know people are going to say West Orange Stark by a lot or even a little. I think this is a one possession game. Robinson on the year, man. Their two losses are to Alvarado and to La Vega. Kevin Brown's doing a wonderful job there, taking a team that a couple years ago was 5-6. Now last year 8-3. This year they're 9-2. Bryce McCurdy at quarterback, Evan Moreno at running back. I like the Rockets to do the slight upset here.
Yeah, I'm still going West Orange Stark, but I can see where you're coming from. I don't know if Robinson is as good as they were last year because they were pretty darn good last year. But I think they're close. But I like West Orange Stark. I like their defense, and I just like them in a close one over Robinson. I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think.
All right, West Columbia 8-3 versus Sealy 10-1. Friday at Iowa Colony's Freedom Field. You know,
man, you got two dual threat quarterbacks here, right?
Yeah.
West Columbia's quarterback, Cade Tho, and then Sealy's quarterback, Kane Killo. Both can just gash you with both their arms and their legs. I like Sealy in this one by 14 points.
Yeah, that's kind of where I feel now. Last year when these two teams played, I'm trying to see, did I got this right? Am I reading that right? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, I was about to say they didn't play. I was like, how did they play? I think we might have kind of dismissed the Roughnecks when they lost 3 of their first 4. But when you look at it, they lose to Needville by 7. They lose to Bay City by 8. And they lose to Yoakum by 2. I mean, damn, that's 3 really good losses.
Right.
Competitive losses against 3 really good teams. I was not as impressed with Sealy as I thought I was going to be against Belleville. But I got to get that out of my mind. I still think Sealy is really, really good. And I think this will be a close game early, but I think they'll end up winning going away.
Yeah, same. And they'll take on the winner of West Orange Stark and Robinson. All right, 4-7 China Spring versus 9-2 Lamarck over in Magnolia Mustang Stadium. We've seen that a game there too, by the way.
Yep.
The little corral. That's a pretty cool place. I like China Spring in the upset.
Yes. I mean, look, the one thing they've done for the most part all year is be able to
score
score
points.
Now, they lost to Gatesville by 7. I mean, they only scored 7 against them. They only scored 7 against Robinson. But other than that, they've put up points. I don't know why. Maybe they beat Belleville. And look,
Lamarck is the favorite.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, they are just by record alone, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, does that really make them the favorite? I mean, I think the biggest thing we're worried about with Lamarck is, like, who have they played? Like, you know, on the year, looking at their schedule, they lose to Hitchcock. That's a quality loss. They lose to
what was the score there?
42-21. They lose to Columbia a couple weeks ago, 35-33. But then after that, they beat Huffman Hargrave. They beat Wheatley. They beat Houston. They beat Harmony. Sugarland Harmony, not Harmony out of East Texas. They beat Wharton. They beat Katy Harmony. They beat all the Harmonies.
Right.
They just.
I think China Spring wins this.
They did. Step back. I will say this. For as much as we talk about China Spring upsetting Belleville, Lamarck did get an upset of themselves last week against Hampshire Finette.
Yes.
So how do you balance that? I just think China Spring wins. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, the Cougars might be getting on a run here. They'll take on the winner of La Vega and Silsby.
Ooh, this is
one of the best games in 4A Division II. This is over at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville, by the way.
How do you got Silsby and Waco La Vega going to Jacksonville is awesome, man.
I know. Silsby's defense pretty good. And they got a dual threat quarterback in Caleb Johnson that is very tough to stop. La Vega, look at them, man. They're 9-2, but their losses were to Salina and Stephenville.
Yeah, but man, what Stephenville did to them
I know,
was
bent them
so
over.
bad. And look, La Vega was beat up going into that game. I think they also realize, look, we need to make sure we're ready for district. So let's just kind of get through this game.
Right.
But still, man, what Steveville did was so tough. And we haven't talked enough about Silsbee. You know, every time we're ready, they've gotten beat. You know, they started out the year 3-0, and we did. We talked about the Westbrook game, and then they got the doors beat off of them. And then the Hitchcock beat them the next week. And then we kind of forgot about them until the West Orange Star game.
Mm-hmm.
We brought them back up. We talked about that game. And then they get beat 33-30. So maybe we haven't talked about them enough.
Well, they're good enough to beat La Vega. I think La Vega will win this game, but it would not be surprised to see Silsbee pull off the win. But I do like La Vega to win this game in a close one, somewhat close, within 7 to 14 points. Take on the winner of China Spring and Lamarck.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
All right, let's go to Region 4 area round. Salado versus Rockport Fulton over at Gustafson Stadium in San Antonio on Friday. Give me Rockport in this one.
Yeah, give me Rockport in this one. I kind of thought you were going to go the other way. Give me Rockport Fulton.
Why would you think I would go the other way?
I just thought because Salado's a really solid team, but I just like the way Rockport Fulton can play keep away and like they did with Cuero, can use their ground-based offense to have a big comeback. That still impresses me, so I like them. Gonzales 7-4 versus Cuero 10-1 Friday. Yoakum's Bulldog Stadium, 7 p.m.
Very underrated Gonzales team, by the way.
I was just about to say,
but I like Cuero.
Give me Cuero, but don't be surprised. Because Cuero at times has been weeble wobble with their defense. Don't be surprised if Gonzales' athletes give the Gobblers a lot of problems, and Cuero has to win this game 42-38 or something like that.
But we both think it's Cuero versus Rockport Fulton in the third round.
Yes.
All right. Sinton 10-1 versus 9-2 Gerald team over at Comalander Stadium in San Antonio on Friday. Man, look, Gerald's defense, really good defense.
And they use their offense to complement their defense.
Yes, but I like Sinton's Quincy Best at quarterback and Micah Green at running back. Micah Green, probably the best athlete in Region 4.
Give me Gerald. I like that slot T with Jason Hobbs, and again, they use that offense to play keep away from that for their defense. Their losses on the year were by 1 to Wimberley, who's still playing, and by 6 to Gonzales, who's still playing. Again, 13-4A Division II was a crazy district this year with all the games. They were all within one possession for the most part.
I'm going Sinton.
That's fine.
In the upset. I think it might be an upset.
It's one of those at the beginning of the year.
I know record would say Gerald or Sinton's the favorite, but
well, at the beginning of the year, I think Sinton would be the prohibitive favorite. We didn't realize what Gerald was going to be. We knew they were going to be good.
Right.
And also, people, you got to remember, Gerald has had a population explosion. They're a 4A Division II team who might end up in 5A, and some have said maybe even close to 5A Division I. But they're probably for sure going to jump a complete division. So their population's grown, and traditionally, this is when Sinton struggles in this region, when they turn into the more central Texas side of Region 4, where there is more athletes.
Yeah.
But I think Gerald's going to win, but this is going to be a great game. Robstown 7-4 versus Wimberley 7-4. Thursday, 7 p.m. at Beeville's Veteran Memorial Stadium. As we finish up, Coach X says the Pickers, okay, this is pretty good. The Pickers picked their way to victory and on to round 2 of the playoffs. Has to be the most unique mascot of all the in all of Texas. The Cotton Pickers, hard to pick against. Ha, ha, ha. I'm not reading that all. But I'm going to here because I'll be damned if I ever pick against the Texans unless they play Carthage or something, and then I will. I love his honesty in that.
I like Wimberley.
I like Wimberley, but Wimberley all year, everything's close. So I will say that this will be a one-possession game.
I don't think it's one possession. I think it's 2 to 3 touchdowns.
I don't know if Wimberley's able to do that this year. Like
I think they are against Robstown.
I mean, and you're probably right. And they
now the next round, talk to me on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Wimberley Sinton will be a doozy.
Or Wimberley rematch of Gerald, which
Wimberley
or
Gerald,
won by 35-34.
Yeah.
All right, man. Wait, I hit the wrong one. Well, no. Wait, where did my song go? Oh, there we go. One of those nights, folks. It's only the first show. We do appreciate everybody.
Maybe more training required.
Oh, really?
Same.
Wow.
I've been told that a few times.
Lights are bright on Friday
We want to
night.
thank everybody for
Fall
joining
in
us
small
for this area
Texas
round show.
town.
Now, next week's Thanksgiving
People
week,
train
we're
like
gonna record on
moths
Monday
to
or
flame, and there ain't nobody
That's up
around.
here.
We'll figure it out.
If I'm hungover on
Brett
Monday,
might
then
end up
guard the
saying
shops,
we might be doing
banks,
by
hear the
studio,
band,
not that kind of
play
coach
the
sex. Don't get all
alma
excited when you hear the
for the
word
sheriff's
by.
daughter.
By
She's
studio
the
show.
queen
We'll
of
Okay,
the
stay at home.
yes, you can email us.
Maybe Kevin McPherson on.
We actually were supposed to have him on this week. We all forgot. Even Kevin forgot. That's how great of a trip we had this week. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, you can email the show, Brett and Terry at S2Sport.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors, as always, but especially thanks to our new one, Luxury Restoration and Roofing. Give them a call, 817-228-8611. Tell Reggie you heard about him on Sideline to Sideline. Until next time, the Region Semis. He's Grant. I'm Terry. This is Sideline to Sideline.
Second in a small town, yeah, man, I hate football. Sure enough, I grew up. Things were less